At the G7 summit in Japan, US President Joe Biden made a groundbreaking announcement. The USA will allow the delivery of fourth-generation fighter jets, especially the much sought-after F-16, to Ukraine. And with that, a very long and tedious discussion that's been going on for months, with Ukraine vying for much-needed Western support and partners avoiding a clear commitment, is finally starting to look like a done deal. But why did it take so long? Well, just like with Western tanks that were long considered taboo, there were a couple of reasons. One were doubts that Ukrainian soldiers would be able to handle such complicated systems in such a short time. One of the bigger concerns, however, was the Russian reaction. But just like every time the delivery of some new military aid was announced, Moscow immediately started vocalizing threats and pledging a harsh response, but nothing more.
Nine.
A couple of days later, they even backed down from their initial threat when Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said on Monday that the West's plans and also the training of Ukrainian pilots on F-16s would not help to achieve the desired results against Russia. Ukraine and its allies have a different view on the topic. In Japan, when a reporter asked Biden if he would like to comment on the Russian Foreign Ministry's statement that the delivery of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine poses an enormous risk, Biden, microphone in hand, considered for a moment and then gave this answer.
It is for them.
But why is Biden's clear stance on this topic so important? Well, since the F-16 is US designed and produced, the US government has to greenlight its export, even if the actual jets that will be delivered are in service with other countries. This decision will definitely have a psychological effect on both the Russian leadership and Ukrainian morale, but it is still a long way to go until there are actual F-16s in the Ukrainian skies. The first step will be to train pilots, and only then will it be decided on how many aircraft will be delivered and by whom. This could take months, some say even years. Until now, the coalition of the willing already includes the UK, the Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, the United States and Portugal. Although Portugal for now has ruled out delivering actual jets, but declared its willingness to train Ukrainian pilots. But why does Ukraine want the F-16? Well, one reason is that they've been produced for almost 50 years and they're in service in around 25 countries, which means there are also many spare parts and trained personnel available. In addition to that, a number of countries like the USA, but also the Czech Republic, are planning to transition to newer jets like the F-35s, potentially releasing hundreds of F-16s onto the market. The F-16 is a multi-role fighter. Multi-role means that they can fulfill different purposes using modern high-precision air-to-air and air-to-ground weapons. So it's effective against troops or other targets on the ground, but also against other aircraft or fighter jets. Basically, it's an all-rounder, highly maneuverable, and with a top speed of around Mach 2.2. Apart from being able to carry out precision strikes and supporting ground troops, so being an important asset to any future Ukrainian offensive, the F-16 will play an important role in defending the Ukrainian airspace and population from the relentless Russian missile and drone attacks. According to the Ukrainian Foreign Minister, Ukraine currently intercepts approximately 75% of these attacks using ground-based systems, as well as air-to-air missiles launched from Ukraine's more outdated Soviet-era jets. However, around 25% still reach their targets. In addition to that, because Ukraine has been able to improve its air defense through the delivery of Western systems like the Iris-T or the Patriot, Russia has in the past months resorted to using so-called glide bombs. The first recorded attacks were on the 11th to 12th of March 2023. And as the name says, yes, the bomb glides. The idea of glide bombs has been around since World War II, but according to the Ukrainian Military Center, Russian smart glide bombs are fitted with a guidance kit equipped with a satellite navigation system and/or an inertial guidance system that adjusts the flight path. It's a lot cheaper than a cruise missile of similar weight, and it means Russian crews, mainly those of Su-30, Su-35 fighters or Su-34 fighter bombers, can release these bombs outside of the range of most air defense systems. The F-16 has, for example, a much more effective radar than the MiG-29s in service with Ukraine now, so in the end, Kyiv hopes that with the F-16 they will finally have a more effective response to this Russian threat.
However, even the upgraded AN/APG-66 radar that was installed in the F-16s of Belgium, Portugal and the Netherlands in the 90s is inferior to those of some modern Russian fighters, so establishing full air control might be a challenge for Ukraine even with the F-16s.
Of course, there's still a lot of question marks. The F-16 was produced since the early 1970s, which means over time there were many variants with countless upgrades. So keep in mind that we're essentially not talking about one kind of jet, but many. Which variants will be delivered? One-seater, two-seaters, how many, by whom? At this point, we can really only guess. According to multiple sources, the Netherlands already just cancelled an original agreement to sell a large amount of their F-16s to the private company Draken International, since they were due to be taken out of service next year. Is that because they will be coming to Ukraine instead? We don't know. Anyway, That's all for now, and we will be sure to make an update as soon as there are more solid facts and less guesses and speculation. Thanks for watching Talking Tactics. Hit like and subscribe, and see you next week.